Today I could read some things that I wrote. One of the things that grounds me the most, and I've actually not done it in the last few days, is writing. If I've not said that before. So I wrote this, and I'll start from a certain part. So in essence, it does not matter whether I attain something or not, because it is bound to happen, as long as you keep looking in that direction. Whether in this life, the next, or many others ahead, it does not matter. The pure dissolvement into love and oneness, the pure surrender, is the act of remembering. It can't be taken away or stopped from happening. One way or another, eventually it will come to be, and so it is. All you do must be in love for God and creation itself, honoring that which God and your soul has chosen your part and character to be in this lifetime. For it does not matter who you become, or even who you have been or will be. All that matters, it is the awareness and consciousness. As you play your part, transcending the suffering of ignorance. So whether you need to read 10 or 100 books for knowledge the soul already possesses, it does not matter. If you're called upon to do it, do it. Do it with joy and peace, for it surely will unfold in some way, shape, or form. Allow yourself to have fun in this reality and to follow that which your inner guidance. I don't understand my writing. and to follow through as that inner guidance, for it comes from somewhere. The place of origin you do not need to know, unless the time comes to be known. For an unconscious action bears suffering, doubt, and confusion in the ignorance of illusion. And a conscious action bears the whole flow and witness of creation. It comes with peace and unwavering effortlessness. As you look at both, which one would you choose to experience willingly? Will, the primordial act of creation, holds the keys that unfold the whole play of creation. Where does it come from? From a thought to create and to experience. Willpower alone can change the whole arrangement of a vision and a visceral experience. Fear, not willpower. I said, fear not willpower, nor should you reject its natural unfoldment. The whole of creation is an act of will. The very same foundation where you stand, in this very moment, to experience being alive. Learn how to discern and honor the will of your soul and the will of God. For the will of God offers you more than you could ever think of dreaming. It transcends what you see around you and is capable within creation. I'm gonna just wait for them to stop screaming. I got excited now. It's like I'm speaking to myself in the future. because I already needed this. The whole of creation is an act of will. The very same foundation where you stand in this very moment to experience being alive. Learn how to discern and honor the will of your soul and the will of God. For the will of God offers you more than you could ever think of dreaming. It transcends what you see around you and is capable of creation, and to call in a vision not yet seen or known in your physical reality. A sovereign will comes in a calm wave, a thought that creates a clear, calm, yet harmonious sensory experience in your body and state of being. It does not seek comparisons, nor does it look around for approval. For it does not come from a logic of what is possible, but transcends it, bringing into being a higher potential and the possibility of experience of creation. Such will is both silent and loud. It is clear and rooted in pure sense of peace, where there is no need to prove or to become. Simply a will to create. It doesn't bring action for the outcome, but for the act of creation itself. Such will is the will of God. The will that sees the vision of a bird and carries no pressure, but a simple joy of experiencing life and enjoying creation itself. Such is the will of God. So it's interesting that I am reading this today because I actually really need it. really need it today. I have been distracting myself for the past few days because I feel like taking action on a certain thing, an idea that I have. I'm just putting this somewhere. I really won't feel like taking this action, and it's an idea that I've had for many years now, but it comes up and down every once in a while. I would say it's linked to something I've always felt like I wanted to do, but I was too scared to do. And I don't want to live in fear anymore, and I actually want to do it and go for those things. And I kind of just have to trust that if it's not God's will or the highest good for me, that it won't happen. And if it is, then things will unfold, and that I must be courageous, and that I must take action, and I must accept the responsibility and have fun with life. Have fun with life. To enjoy. Even when I put myself in a position that is something I've never done before, and people could criticize me, or might not want me, or might reject me, and I kind of just have to go for it. Which means after I record this, I should send emails for the idea that I have. And it's interesting that something that sometimes comes so easily to someone else feels so challenging for someone else. This makes me think, because I feel like everyone else, I also can make mistakes or judge people even not from an unconscious place. And just as I thought this before, I realized that sometimes we lose patience with people that are the closest to us, because for us, we see that when they complain about something that it's not happening in their life like they want, we give out a solution and we lay it out, and it's like, it's so easy. Why don't you just do it? Well, because they're scared. But you're like, just face the fear and just go for it. But when it's you, and then suddenly it's something that feels challenging for you, then now you understand that person. And now you're like, I guess I'm just gonna have to be really patient and loving with myself. In the same way, I also wish to consciously be with other people and understand that they're just feeling some sort of fear because it's challenging their perspective on reality and in what is possible in their life. And because of that, they might not take that action. But even also the aspect of it might bothering us, like that it might be bothering us that that person is acting in that way or not taking those actions for themselves but still complaining to you, well, then I'm doing the same thing. There are things in my life that only I can change if I take the action for it. If I show myself and if I express myself and if I go for it. Or even if some opportunity comes to me, it's still up to me to say yes to it and to go and actually do it and use that willpower for it. So in fact, we should always look back and see it as a pure reflection. When something outside of us bothers us, you go turn around and look at yourself. What is it in my life that I'm feeling like I wish to experience in a different way, but I'm feeling too scared to take the steps to do it? And what are the steps to do it and to take? And then just take one at a time instead of like instead of just focusing on the external things happening around me, to focus on what's happening within me and what actually I can change in my life if I do wish to have a different experience in whatever it might be in life, whether it's a job, a relationship, whichever kind of relationship, that it might be with friends, with a partner, with family, with co-workers, like with anything. Instead of expecting other people to change those things so then our life would be easier, we should always look towards ourselves. Or more like ask ourselves, what is it that I can change in my way of action that would lead to a different set of outcomes? I've always grown up hearing that insanity is repeating the same thing, expecting a different outcome. And like everyone else, I'm guilty of doing that because sometimes we do it in an unconscious way and then you become conscious of it. And then it takes a tremendous willpower sometimes and just courage and strength from within to go and challenge that thing that is feeling so frightening, even if it's something that to other people might be so small or so easy, but for you it could feel so big. And once you take the step, then reality expands. It's like when I travel. Now it feels easy and it feels like you just booked a ticket and you go. But the first time I went, that took a lot of much of what I'm going through right now, which is fidgeting, distracting myself and avoiding it at all costs. Until I couldn't avoid it anymore and I just booked the ticket and I went 2 weeks later and it was the best trip of my life to Japan and one of my favorite places to always go back to on this planet so far, like no matter what. So what was after that big step that felt so scary? I'm even getting a bit emotional, like it's really true. Like, I really am getting emotional. Um, which is okay. Um, After that step that felt so big and scary because I never traveled by myself and I chose to go to completely opposite side of the world from where I live. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And it just gave me so much confidence in myself, and I grew so much. And trust in the universe and in God, and just feeling protected and overlooked after, and having trust and faith and positive thinking in life. There was such a precious gemstone after this one simple step that was to book a plane ticket. But sometimes it feels so big, but you can do it. I'm telling myself and anyone that needs to listen to this, you can do it. Even if it takes a lot of breaths and just a really random click to send, or to just take a step, or to go up to someone, or to go up to an opportunity, or to something. It just takes one step. And another quote or sentence that I heard recently that really, really helped me was, it's in Portuguese, so I'm gonna say it in Portuguese and then I'll just translate it because I find it so beautiful in my language. It was a Brazilian woman, and she was saying to her child when he was scared of jumping off of a dock onto the water onto her arms, and she looked at him and she said, as melhores coisas da vida estão passo depois do medo. So translating it is, the best things in life are one step after the fear, which means that taking that step is the scariest part of it. Not what's after. After, it's usually quite often the greatest things in life you could possibly live, and where your world expands, and where you can actually feel how alive this planet is and how reality is. I have these knowings and these perspectives, and I read books, and I have extremely vivid dreams or knowledge that either comes to me in whichever way is sort of downloaded, whether it's in conversations with myself, or writing, or painting, or just being in silence, in whichever way it might be. But the reality is, you can have all the knowledge in the world, and you could know all the steps in the world, but if you don't just take those little steps, then nothing really is going to change. And if I do believe that reality is this shape-shifting, atomical reality of these, like, everything is light. The atoms contain this light, whatever it is inside of it. And all of our bodies made out of cells and atoms and electrons and little tiny particles, and light within those atoms. That means that everything is sort of this holographic vision, which also means that your reality is created by your belief system and by the actions that you take and the choices that you make on a daily basis. And I do also believe that life is so precious, and each lifetime, no matter how many lives you live, or parallel lives you might have access to and have the knowledge from, like, no matter how much you could experience in this vast infinite realm of creation, each lifetime is unique, And I really, really want to make the best of it. And I really, really, really want to live life. I want to live life and to feel peace and joy while I do it. And while I transcend this and become one with all of this. So that means while I believe in all of those things and I know all of those things and I feel them as true in my heart, in this very moment where I do have an idea and there are steps I could take towards it, whether it works out or not, if I don't apply that knowledge, nothing could change. If I apply that knowledge, everything could change. Whether it changes or not is not my job. My job is to just take the actions. My job is just to pick up the brush. My job is just to send the email. My job is just to be myself and to go along in life. The outcomes of things shall be as they shall be. Like everything that comes to you will come to you, and if it's for you, then it's for you, and if it's not, then it goes away. And I know this. This is that moment where it feels challenging and when it feels like everything within me is contracting and it's scary and it doesn't want to take the step because it feels silly or stupid or like, who do I think I am? Or like, why would that work out? And is that aligned with my value system? And that just starts to like spiral. This is that very moment where all of that wisdom and all of that knowledge needs to be applied. So I need to put my mouth where my words are. No, that didn't make sense. I need to put my action where my words, I don't know how that saying is, I guess. I need to honor. I need to honor those. I need to honor that knowledge. I need to honor that knowledge, and I need to take those steps and to do those things, even if it's just to make myself uncomfortable and challenge the reality of what is possible in this reality of creation. And because I don't want to regret in life that I didn't take those steps, because then what would be the purpose of all of this? If nothing changes, nothing changes. But at least I did my best. There's always other options. If that thing doesn't work out, I can always do this other thing or that other thing. And it's okay. And it's okay. It's okay. It's very, very interesting how I do believe that, or I have this, or I feel it within myself that the wisdom and knowledge we gather from books or from people and experiences in life are very valuable. Not necessarily because they change us, but because we go from, at times, being unconscious into being conscious during our daily lives, because something that we read or something that we experience pops up in our head, and suddenly we have a different option of action. While we were wired or had a habit to just answer to a situation in this one specific way, suddenly this other alternative pops up in our head, and then we get to choose. And the moment you have a choice, then you're conscious. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? And I feel like that's the way in which knowledge can help us the most in life. Not because it changes you, but because it gives you a choice in life. And then also, I do also feel that true wisdom is in the experience of life. To have all the knowledge in the world and to know a bunch of things in your head is incredible and amazing. But a lot of that needs to be applied and actually be the way in which you live, or the things you actually do. I could stare at people painting in a video all I want, and I could learn all the techniques, and someone could teach me all the theory. But the whole point of it is actually to experiencing the act of doing it. And that goes with anything in life. So experience is our highest tool of wisdom and of learning. To experience life. And to actually try out and see how things change when we do, and how reality shifts. And the more we do that, the more our understanding of what reality is expands. So that's my talk for today. I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm gonna go do what I have to do. Because it shall be whatever it's meant to be, and I'm giving it out to the universe. But at least I gave it a go, and I didn't allow this fear to come over me, and I chose to still take action regardless of it. And my dog agrees with me. So, goodbye. Thank you so much, and you can do it.